just going to see if we are, looks like we're live. I'm just going to check and make sure we're working. I'm on just a couple minutes early just to make sure all the tech is good. Looks like we're working. I'm just going to make sure there's audio. If we are, yay. Looks like we're live. Everything's working. Okay, perfect. So we'll wait about another minute, fluff up the hair a little bit. I'm going to switch it over to my slides in a couple minutes, but we'll just wait for everybody to hop on. In a couple minutes, but we'll just wait for everybody to hop on. Okay, just need that. Okay, so I am pretty excited about this webinar. I love sharing my story. I love sharing what I did, the transformation I went through. So I love sharing this. So I hope you guys are excited about this. You'll notice in the corner there's a chat box. If you want to say hi, if you have any questions throughout, I'll try to check that on occasion. There is just one step before you chat. You have to click on the let's see, click. I'm just going to test it. You can test it out now too if you want to. Test. Okay, mine's already on there. It might ask you to click on Facebook so that it gets your profile in there so it knows who's chatting. So you just have to click one button. Once you just press hi in there and click one button, then you'll be good to go. So I'll also share at the end, we're going to do a giveaway. I've got some free gifts, some giveaways. So this is a couple of the giveaways. So I'm doing a giveaway at the end. The winner gets to choose. I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end. So we are 10 o'clock. So just get going in 1 second. I'm just going to see if I can switch this over. So I'm going to switch it over to screen share. Your entire screen. Okay, and I'm just going to make sure this is good, and then we'll get started. Say hi if you're joining on. I can't tell who's in here, so say hi. Let me know you're here. A few seconds, we'll get started. If we are, looks like we're live. Okay, just to check the audio again. Just going to make sure it's sharing my screen. There's a little bit of a delay in there. So go grab a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. We're going to get started right away. It lasts usually about 45 minutes or slightly longer. There's quite a delay here. I'm just checking to make sure it's going to switch over to my screen. Okay. Actually, I'm just going to close that. About 30 more seconds, let people join on, and then we'll get going. Okay, looks like we're good. So let's get started. So introduce myself. Hi, and welcome to the Mom Recharge webinar, How to Increase Energy and Feel Good Again. I'm your host, Terry Watt, registered holistic nutritionist, wife, mom of two, and creator of Mom Recharged. So here's our agenda. So what will we be covering in this webinar? First, I'll tell you a little bit about myself and my health journey, plus my rock bottom moment. We will cover the 4 steps to making big changes in your energy and shifts in your weight. We will help you determine if you are in the right place, if this information I'm going to share is right for you. I will go over how I finally was able to make big changes. We will talk about what's really going on in your body to be causing your low energy food cravings and maybe even an inability to drop those extra few pounds. And finally, 3 simple steps to increase energy and weight loss. So my promise to you, if you stay until the end, you're going to leave this webinar knowing exactly how your food affects your energy level and fat loss so you can start boosting your energy and feeling better right away. No going hungry or magic pills involved. And a bonus gift, I also have a giveaway. So the bonus gift, if you are on live, I promise you a bonus gift for staying till the end. I have a full 1-day meal plan for you that focuses on high energy weight loss foods. So you can see what a day in the Mom Recharge method looks like. And I have a few of my favorite recipes you can add into your weeks. So it's a 1-day meal plan with some extra recipes in there. But I'm also going to give you my favorite 1 week, one of my favorite 1 week meal plans. So you can see sort of how it's laid out as well. So you can grab both of those giveaways at the end if you'd like, or both of those gifts. We also have a giveaway that I mentioned earlier, a choice of 2 supplements. I'm going to draw one person's name at the end. So watch for the giveaway. So before we go any further, I will introduce myself. My name is Terry. I'm a proud mom of 2, ages 3 and 6. I'm a lover of decorating, coffee, turning comfort foods into healthier versions, and I'm obsessed with learning about nutrition, the power of mindset, and overall living your best life. So I'm a bit of a self-help junkie. And I help moms get their energy back with a focus on keeping it simple and delicious. The reason I got into doing what I'm doing today is because of my past struggles. So I will share a little bit about that. So my journey. So the first picture is me with my mullet haircut. Thanks, Mom. And the second picture is my university days. I gained a lot of weight starting about grade 11, and it just kept increasing. These were the days of low-fat everything, calorie counting, and lots of artificial sweeteners. I was exercising in the gym almost every day. This was more into my university days. I was exercising almost every day, and I was still putting on weight. But my energy actually started to really drop in high school. I went from being a little kid that had so much energy that I could never even take a nap to a teen that just wanted to nap all the time. After university, I really started dieting and restricting food, and I lost a little weight, but every day, even every hour, was a struggle. Food was always on my mind. I had such intense food cravings. My days involved intense efforts in eating good all day and then nightly binges, and pretty much every aspect of my health started to deteriorate. I had acne worse than in my teens. My body ached like I was 80 years old. My bloating and gas got worse and worse, and I wanted to nap all the time. I barely had the energy to get through the day. I thought I was eating healthy and doing all the things to try to lose weight, but it never worked. So I finally hit my low point about 6 years ago, the point when I realized I needed to figure things out and do something different. It was when my daughter was about a year old. I had so many things I wanted to do, like playing, going out with my daughter, all the things I saw on Pinterest. I wanted to have a clean house and I wanted to make healthy food, but I just didn't have the energy. I saw doctors and did blood work, and they all told me how healthy I was. Then finally one day I had enough, and I decided that I needed to figure things out on my own and that I wasn't just going to live like that the rest of my life. But I can now look back and be grateful that I went through those things, because that's what has led me here. doing what I love to do most, helping moms who are feeling the way I used to feel. And the more I share my story, the more moms tell me that that's exactly how they're feeling. Like it seems it's crazy. There's so many moms are feeling this way now. So let's fast forward to today. I have the energy to keep up with my 2 kids, with building a business and eating clean. My energy is stable throughout the day, and I no longer have intense food cravings. I enjoy the healthy diet that I now eat, and I don't crave the unhealthy things I used to binge on. There's a huge list of symptoms that have disappeared, but I'll just mention a few, like acne, bloating and gas, brain fog, constant runny nose. So now let's shift things for a minute and look at the 4 things I learned to make big changes in my energy and shifts in my weight. I actually have 3 things I learned to make big changes in my energy and shifts in my weight. Number 1, it's not about willpower. Willpower will never win when your body is out of balance. Blood sugar imbalance, inflammation, and food allergies take your body out of balance, and no amount of willpower will help. Number 2, I learned which foods were high energy foods for me and which foods were energy draining foods. And number 3, I got to the real truth of which foods create fat loss and which ones create fat storage, and that it really doesn't matter how many calories they have in them. Next, let's pause and find out if you're in the right place. So who is this for? This method might not be right for everyone. It's for a specific group of women. So before we go further, let's see if it is the method that's right for you. It's for women who aren't feeling their best. They're finding they just don't have the energy anymore. No matter how much sleep they get, they are still tired. Maybe you have gone to the doctor and have been told everything's normal when you just don't feel normal at all. On top of that, you're likely finding you're a slave to the evening cravings. You want to stick with a plan, but the cravings always win. You're in the right place if, So you're in the right place if nothing is working, no matter how much willpower you use or how little you eat. Eating less and exercising more just isn't helping. Also, you likely are too tired to exercise and too hungry to eat less anyways. So I'll explain more why it's not that simple, and in some cases, eating more will actually help you lose weight. You already eat pretty healthy, but still feel like crap. I'll explain why many of those foods we thought were healthy aren't really, and how some foods might be okay for some people, but might be causing big problems internally for you. The next one, you are lacking energy on a daily basis and feel like life could be so much more with more energy. And lastly, you have a few extra pounds that won't come off. So my big fail. Was eating all the light, low-calorie, low-fat foods like I mentioned earlier. I thought the less calories I ate and the more I exercised, the less I'd weigh and the healthier I'd be. I thought it was as simple as calories in versus calories out. And if I just took in less calories, I'd lose weight. This is what we always seem to be told. I did it for years and never stopped to actually realize that I wasn't actually getting any better, nor was I losing any weight. And actually my binges just got worse. I learned that calories are a very small part of a very big picture. Whether you burn or store fat has more to do with hormones and what else is going on in your body. A calorie from a piece of toast is a whole lot different than a calorie from an avocado in terms of what it does inside your body, the way it digests, whether it's causing your immune system to flare up, which you'd be surprised how many foods we're eating every day are doing this to so many of us. And the type of gut bacteria it is feeding all of this has a whole lot more to do with your weight and your energy than the amount of calories in that food. So I will touch on all these things a little bit later. I also learned that cutting calories and adding in more exercise often lowers our metabolism. Your body goes into starvation mode, which teaches it that it needs to hold on to fat just in case food is scarce. So you are in the right place if you are eating all the healthy foods and following the diet rules, but still can't lose weight and still feel like crap. You are eating the healthy things the things that we're told that are healthy, like yogurt. You're eating whole wheat bread instead of white, the oatmeal, and things are just getting worse instead of better. So my big discovery. Most of us that have no energy, that are holding on to that weight, that just feel like crap, have something bigger going on internally. There's a war going on a daily basis that is showing up as all of these things: tiredness, puffiness, low mood or moodiness, unclear head. There's so many different symptoms that it can cause, but three big ones are tiredness, holding on to weight, and intense food cravings, like I mentioned. I learned that so many of us have developed food sensitivities, which has generally occurred in just because of our lifestyle today and the foods we've been eating over the last 10, 20, 30 years. This normal North American lifestyle has led to a few things, one being sensitivities to food. So what does that mean? It means that normal, seemingly innocent foods, our body now sees as foreign invaders. As soon as you take one bite, your body now goes on attack. The symptoms of these sensitivities and allergies are often subtle and gradual. So most people don't realize they even have a food sensitivity. Some symptoms might show up right away, like a stuffed up nose, but more commonly they show up a day or so later. The top allergens are generally foods that we eat on a daily basis. So your tiredness, your puffiness, your headaches just seem to be the norm now, and you aren't really able to notice a connection to any particular food. It's so frustrating, all of the years I spent trying different diets, trying to restrict calories and eat all the so-called healthy foods, really for nothing, usually just for things to get worse. So now we will switch gears and talk about when everything changed. The three big things that made a difference. I got my numbers right on this one. Number one, cut out the top two food allergens. So technically for most of it, it's actually labeled sensitivities, but I use both of these terms interchangeably to describe it. So intolerances and allergens, I'm sort of referring to the same thing for in this webinar. Number two, introduce more nourishing whole foods. And number three, as I learned more about the body, I started to change my mindset around food. So food as fuel is what I started to focus on. So the more I learned about what was going on, the more my mindset changed and my relationship with food changed. You are in the right place if you crave carbs and your willpower isn't strong enough to get you to stop from eating them. Every morning I would vow to eat better, only to make it to the afternoon, or on a good day till the evening, and then just give in to all the cravings. I'd often eat whatever carbs were in the house, the granola bars, the chips, the popcorn. You're in the right place if you feel like you can't live without fill in the blank. The most common answer is cheese or bread / carbs. And those are also the most common food sensitivities too. So I'll explain this link later. My big mistake, going year after year, putting in so much effort to try to eat good, trying to work up all my willpower only to fail time after time, continuing to do the same thing, but every day promising myself that I would do better, only to give into those food cravings later that day once again. When I learned that cravings actually had an internal basis, that both blood sugar imbalances and food sensitivities are the source of the most powerful food cravings, and no amount of willpower will work when you've got those out of balance. Once you balance blood sugar and get rid of the foods you're sensitive to, you can get rid of those cravings. Imagine your life if you didn't have that daily struggle with cravings. These two things are the main driving forces behind those cravings. So imagine being in control of your cravings. How good would that feel if that was a thing? Chips might still cross your mind, but you can easily choose not to have them without the struggle that we're so used to. You are in the right place if you are just sick and tired of all the BS out there. You have tried so many things and have practically given up, but not quite yet because you know there has to be a way. So if you are resonating with the struggles I've been talking about, then I think you will love what I have coming up for you. So the major truth, what you know about healthy eating is totally wrong, and it's okay to be mad about it. A lot of these foods we're told to eat healthy to be healthy are actually harming us. We have overconsumed them, and now they are causing us big problems. So this Canada Food Guide is just one example of that. You can get your calcium from places other than milk. Most of those whole grains are causing problems in your gut. Fat is healthy. It's essential for good thyroid function, for a good metabolism, and for weight loss. And in simplified terms, fat is not what makes you fat. Sugar is what makes you fat. And when I say sugar, it's not just sweets. It's also things like bread. Bread turns to sugar, so it really isn't much different. So what's really going on in your body? Let's find out. There are two big factors we're going to talk about. So number one is a blood sugar story. So let's dive into that. So I'm going to give you an example first. So let's say you are at a restaurant, or maybe even you're at home in the morning. You're trying to lose weight, so you choose a maybe like a low-fat yogurt. Maybe you add on some granola and fruit instead of something like bacon and eggs. I'll explain what happens in your body and why that low-fat yogurt will lead to more fat storage than the bacon and eggs. So you eat the yogurt with granola and fruit. That is packed with carbohydrates. There's added sugar in the yogurt. There's sugar in the granola, plus the actual oats are carbohydrates, and the fruit are carbohydrates. So your body consumes a large amount of carbs with not a whole lot of protein or fat. Since it's mainly carbs, it quickly breaks down to glucose in your body, which is sugar. When your blood sugar increases, then insulin gets sent in. If that glucose isn't being used for energy, then insulin converts it to fat storage on the body. So this is kind of a simplified way of putting it. So let's break it down. Number one, you eat carbs. Number two, carbs break down to glucose, sugar. Number three, insulin gets sent in to take it to the cells to be used for energy. Number four, but if that glucose isn't being used for energy, then insulin converts it to fat storage. So that means if you're having that breakfast like that, and then you're sitting most of the day, you're commuting, you're sitting in office, then that tends to happen often with so many of us throughout the day. So whether that's a yogurt, a low-fat muffin, or any of those low-calorie snack packs or cereals, they are big culprits to you storing more fat. The blood sugar factor relates to fat loss, but it also relates to energy. When you have a carb-heavy meal, your blood sugar spikes. You will have energy for a little bit, but soon enough, your energy will crash. You then naturally crave carbs to get that blood sugar level back up. So you have more carbs and maybe some coffee to get more energy as well. And the cycle continues. The cravings, the low energy, and the fat storage. And most of us are doing this on a daily basis, day in and day out. Based on this, can you see now how the whole low-cal 100-calorie snack pack actually works against you? We're marketed so much with the Special K and the Weight Watchers and all that. Just watch your calories. So next, we're going to move on to food sensitivities. So this is the two big factors in what's really going on into your body. We just talked about the blood sugar story, and now we're going to dive into food sensitivities. So not everyone has a food sensitivity, but if you're finding that you're going through your days tired, you have intense cravings, and you just don't feel great, then chances are you have a food sensitivity to some degree. Think food allergy, and you might conjure up the worst case scenario, like a child going into anaphylactic shock after exposure to peanuts. No doubt a severe food allergy is scary, but it's also relatively rare. A much more common scenario, which is also just as scary, much more common scenario is an adult with a low-grade food allergy to gluten, for example, who actually never pinpoints the cause of her misery. So the anaphylactic shock, I know that's very scary, and it's hard to compare it to that, but there's so many moms out there who've got hidden food sensitivities who don't know it. They go through their life with that, and that can cause huge issues, really scary issues. So we'll dive into that a little bit. So let's use an example. A mom, her symptoms are vague. So bloating, constipation, weight gain, and her exposure is frequent, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So the connection is murky. And over years, the hidden allergy takes a toll on the immune system. The result of an overworked immune system is everything from weight gain to irritable bowel syndrome to arthritis, sometimes even worse. When you have developed a food sensitivity, one bite of a food you're sensitive to will put your immune system on defense. If you are unaware that this food is a problem for you and you consume it on a daily basis, then your immune system will always be on attack. This takes a toll on your body. It takes away from your energy, leaving you tired. So the common symptoms of food sensitivities, there is a huge list. Everybody's different on how they react to it, but I'll mention the most common ones. So I mentioned a couple already. The symptoms, like I said, can be wide-ranging and vary from person to person. So here's a few of the more common ones: bloating, gas, migraines, headaches, feeling foggy, cough, runny nose, feeling under the weather, stomach aches, irritable bowel. It could be constipation or diarrhea or a combination, hives, acne. And a few more common symptoms. If you find yourself saying, I can't live without my fill in the blank, food intolerances are actually often associated with intense food cravings to those foods. So you get sort of a high from them, so your body naturally feels addicted to them. So if you, like I said before, if you feel like you can never live without cheese, or you might be saying, I can never live without bread, or I can never live without my pizza. Usually people have an intolerance to both gluten and dairy. It's super common. So especially the pizza one is a big one. So that could be the reason. You've tried several diets, you eat pretty healthy, exercise regularly, and still can't seem to lose weight. When there is a war going on inside your body, your digestion, your metabolism, your body as a whole is not running like it should, so weight gain often results. You feel puffy. With a food intolerance, you tend to hold on to water. So you might notice if you go on a low-carb diet or just cut out gluten, that you lose quite a few pounds in the first week. That is often the excess water getting flushed out. I've heard that the holding on to water is sort of a way that your body dilutes the toxins or the inflammation that the foods are creating. So the next one, your health isn't what you want it to be. If you find yourself saying that, then that's likely one of the cases. And lastly, seasonal hay fever seems to last all year long. This is a sign of your immune system always being on attack. So we're just going to stick with food sensitivities for a second. I'm just going to kind of recap what we talked about. So how it relates to your energy, your cravings, and your weight. Causes inflammation and overworked immune system, leading to chronic tiredness. Causes an opioid-like effect, leading to intense cravings. So like I mentioned before, if you find you can't live without it, it actually creates an opioid-like effect. The good news is once you get rid of it for a little while, it doesn't have that effect on you anymore. It causes water retention and puffiness, as well as reduced metabolism and thyroid function, and it often leads to chronic disease if left unchecked. So we are about halfway through. I'm just going to switch over to our next slides. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this so far. I'm just going to have a peek at the chat box for 1 second while we switch over. Hi, Amy. Hey, I'm watching, but don't know how to comment without closing out. You should be able to view. Maybe this isn't the case because I'm usually, I'm usually commenting when I'm not doing the presentation. So I'll have to look into that. I'm not really sure. If you can just watch the video or watch the live recording on that page. Oh, I figured it out. Good. Okay. That's good. Okay, so we are going to go on to part 2, if this is going to open up for me. My parents just said, going to the flea market. Anybody want anything? They're in Florida right now. Daytona Beach has really good flea markets. So I should get them to get me some Rada knives. They always have them there. Okay, I'm not sure. I might have to close this out. My computer's out. There we go. Okay, we're going to open up the second part of the presentation. I'm going to really dive into to what I did here. We're going to get into the good stuff. Okay, guys. All right, computer's a little bit slower today. Looks like we're almost there. There we go. So 4 steps to increased energy and weight loss. I don't know if I have my numbers mixed up here. Yeah, no, 4 steps. Okay, we're good. Okay, so the Mama Recharge method. So step number 1, willpower will never win when your body is out of balance. Blood sugar imbalance, inflammation, and food allergies need to be addressed. I think it's nice to know that it's not that you just don't have enough willpower. So I'm hoping you guys find that that's nice to know. I struggled for so long thinking I just didn't have the willpower. So let's talk inflammation. In the past, when I would try to lose weight, try to get healthier, I was making one big mistake. I was ignoring inflammation. Actually, I wasn't ignoring it. I didn't even know it was there. I just thought inflammation was an old person thing that was dealing with arthritis or something like that. So what exactly is inflammation? Inflammation is when your body is irritated and reactive. It's like a slow burning flame in the body. Acute inflammation is one thing, but chronic inflammation is bad news, and it's caused very often by the foods we're eating, and we don't even realize they're inflammatory to us. What does inflammation do? So inflammation, it causes leptin to be less effective. So leptin is your satiety hormone. You don't get that signal that you're full, so your hunger can get out of control. So do you guys find that maybe you're eating more than your husband or something, and then you find you just don't get satisfied, or you're having snacks and you just want to keep eating. So that is likely because of the leptin is less effective in those cases, the leptin hormone. Number 2, it worsens insulin resistance. So that's your fat storage hormone. Number 3, excess fluid and swelling. So it makes you look puffy. And number 4, inflammation keeps you stuck in fat storage mode. Number 5, inflammation drains your energy. So getting rid of inflammation often means less bloating, inches gone, pounds gone, energy up, and clearer skin. So remove the top 2 allergens, remove other inflammatory producing foods like sugar, processed foods, and bad fats. So then step number 2, blood sugar. Like I said earlier, balancing blood sugar is huge for losing weight and increasing energy. It's important to get off that blood sugar roller coaster we spend so much time on. So 3 important hormones related to blood sugar. Insulin is one, so that's your fat storage hormone, like I mentioned. So we want to cut refined carbs for that. Cut it out as much as possible. Leptin is another one. That's your satiety hormone that gives you that feeling of fullness. If you are running on the blood sugar roller coaster on a continual basis, leptin will become exhausted. So similar to how insulin does actually. You start to not have an off switch with food. You are never satisfied and always hungry. And 3, glucagon, the weight loss hormone superhero. Add in non-starchy vegetables, protein, and fats for that. So earlier we spoke a little about insulin, and to simplify it, the more carbs you eat, the more insulin is produced all at once, and the more fat storage that occurs, unless you're actually burning that food off, which most of us aren't doing after we eat carbs. So glucagon, I'll dive into that a little bit more because that's something we most of us don't really know about. So glucagon signals satiety and fullness. So that's an important hormone, especially with fat loss and with energy. The more glucagon you have, the more energy you burn while you're resting. Whereas the more insulin you have, the more fat you will store while resting. So how do we increase our glucagon? You can add in more non-starchy vegetables to our plate, adding in healthy fats, adding in protein, adding in probiotics, adding in more fiber to your meal are the main ways to change that. So let's go to step number 3, adding in an abundance of high energy foods. So step number 3 is adding in an abundance of high energy foods. So we want to feed the good guys. We want to increase glucagon. We want to increase the nutrients your body needs. We want to calm down the body. So anti-inflammatory foods, antioxidant-rich foods, and less processed packaged foods. You want more real foods that your body actually knows what to do with. So that's a huge shift. And it can be delicious as well. So I'm all about making whole foods simple and delicious. Step number 4, lifestyle hacks to increase energy and weight loss. So sleep is a big one. We're simply not getting enough sleep, and quality sleep is lacking too. Exercise, you want to exercise smarter, not harder. Exercise is so important and beneficial, but too much can also have a negative effect on your weight and your energy. Balance is key, as well as adding in strength training and not just cardio. We decide we want to lose weight, so we just go to the gym and run for an hour. All that work, and it's not really helping. So actually for me personally in my journey, it's mainly diet, and I've been able to make so many changes with mainly diet, like 80 to 90% diet. And being home with my kids, having little kids, most of my exercise lately is just running after them. So food really is important. Exercise, that 20%, it has sort of the 80-20 thing. So exercise is important too, getting that in, especially if you're sitting all day long or most of the day, that can really help as well. So that's one of the lifestyle things. What are we on? Stress. Oh, actually I had some tips on exercise. So where was I? So balance is key. And you want to add in some strength training, not just cardio. It's important to find what works in your life. So is that doing a daily dance party with your kids? Put on some music and jump around, use your kids as your weight, add in some squats, or is that setting aside 30 minutes of me time doing a workout that includes both weights and cardio? So a lot of us are moms with young kids, so we have to get creative and figure out how it's going to be fun, how we're going to fit it into our busy life already. Those are a couple things I love to do. Either just having some time, I tell my husband 20 to 30 minutes. I don't love those 45-minute online workouts, but I love having just a few minutes to myself, or even I get my kids involved with those workouts, or we do a dance party. So get creative with stuff like that if you're struggling with getting an exercise. So let's recap what we just learned. So number 1, we want to reduce inflammation. Number 2, we want to balance the blood sugar. Number 3, we want to bring in high energy foods. We want to have a big focus on that. It's important to focus on all the high energy foods you can eat and how you can make them delicious. You want to focus on more than feeling deprived that you can't eat certain foods. And you want to also focus on the lifestyle shifts is important as well. So I know this is a lot of stuff, a lot of changes that have thrown at you all at once. So I've created a program so that these changes are actually doable. A step-by-step guided system to get your energy back and to actually turn it into a lifestyle change. I know our perspective on our health changes once we have kids. Our sole focus is no longer on how our clothes fit us. That's still a big part, I know, but we now care more about our long-term health. We want to be around a long time for our kids, and we want to feel good in that time we're here. So that's why the Mama Recharge method is not designed to be just 4 weeks. It's not designed to be just 4 weeks and you're done. It's designed to be more of a lifestyle shift. It was important that I make these 4 weeks something that you want to continue with. You will see changes. You will be eating healthier. You will have a system. Your body will calm down. And most importantly, you will still enjoy your food. You will have a new arsenal of recipes, and something that once seemed crazy and could never happen, like giving up gluten or dairy or your evening treat, is now something totally that you do and love. And you can still have an evening treat, just a different version. By the end of the 4 weeks, you'll have determined if those foods are actually a problem for you, and if so, how much of a problem. You'll start to shift your focus from a constant state of using your willpower to make your food choices to a mindset of using your food as fuel. This happens through learning a little more about what's going on in your body, but it also happens with the hormone and internal craving shifts that I talked about earlier. So I'm going to dive a little bit into the Mama Recharge method. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to share a bit about that if you are looking for a little bit more support. So who is it for? Who is the Mama Recharge method for? You are craving more energy. You have a lot you want to do, but you also have a lot you need to do with your busy life as a mom, but you just need that energy. You want a plan that is doable. You are sick of dieting, of being hungry in order to try to eat right and lose weight. You don't want to be eating chicken breasts and broccoli every night. You still want to be able to enjoy a glass of wine on occasion and maybe a piece or two of dark chocolate. You are not interested in doing something for a few weeks only to find out it's impossible to stick with. You're also sick and tired of how you're feeling. You want the energy and health that you enjoyed and the freedom from cravings. You've been told too many times that your blood work is normal and you are sick of nothing being done. You also aren't interested in being on medication the rest of your life. You are ready to take your health into your own hands. I'm wondering if this resonates with you. I'm just going to pause for a second, and I want to share that I want you to know that you can get better without spending hours every day in the kitchen. You can have your cup of coffee and a treat, just a new healthier version of that treat. And giving up gluten and dairy doesn't have to be a sad and depressing thing. You will discover a whole new world of great foods, and these foods won't have control over you. You will be able to enjoy the freedom that comes with the elimination of those intense cravings. Imagine the freedom that brings to you. Your body will have a better ability to tell you when you are full and to tell you when you are actually hungry. No more binge eating, no more giving into the cravings, and no more feeling bad about it the next day. And no more spending thousands on shakes or pills. So I created this program because of the changes that I saw in my life. I know there are so many women out there who are feeling stuck. They're feeling the way that I used to feel, and they don't know how to get out of it. They don't know how to make changes, and everything they're hearing about paleo, keto, clean eating, gluten-free, all just seems too hard to do. So that's why I created this program. So my mission is to give you a plan that helps you to see a change, but that saves you time in the kitchen. I've included tons of meals that are healthier versions of those meals that we're used to and love. I've included snacks that won't just have you eating an apple. Breakfasts that will give you energy all day long. We utilize leftovers in a strategic way. We also have a look at those things that often sabotage healthy eating, like stress, being too busy, and being too tired. My goal is that you go away from these 4 weeks wanting to continue on with this healthy lifestyle and being able to do so. So let's look a little closer at what's included. So we have got our 4-week plan as is the main part of this that's going to really help you through this. So the first 4 weeks are really the toughest with switching up any diet. So that's why it's important to really be taken by the hand and guided through this. So the 4-week plan, I spent a lot of time making sure this plan is good. It's delicious. It's easy. It's got most of my favorite recipes are in this 4-week plan. And I've made it strategic too. So you aren't going to be in the kitchen every evening cooking a big meal. I've been strategic with it that if you have a chicken dish the one night, you have the option of making extra chicken that night so that it can be in a chicken dish another night, whether that's you put it in the fridge or the freezer. It's so easy to make your next meal. Because if something's too hard to do, we're not going to stick with it. So that was important to me. I'll dive into, so each weekly meal plan has a shopping list that goes along with it. It has meal prep options. So whether you want to spend a couple hours on Sunday getting your meals ready for the week, or whether you just want to spend like 30 minutes getting a few things ready, there's meal prep options in there. It's a full plan, so we cover your 3 meals and snacks in there. We also have level 1 and level 2 options. So this was important these options to customize it to where you're at right now. So we might have somebody in this membership or in this method program who is right now they're so busy. They are eating, they find that they're eating processed foods at like every meal. They're eating fast food all the time. They're just eating so much junk. They've gotten stuck in that habit. So we might have that type of person. We might have somebody who has already been like dialing in on their health and trying to eat clean, but they're still feeling stuck. So one person is coming into it at a very different place than the other person. One person will be ready for a higher level than the other person. So that's why I've got level 1 and 2 options. If you're already eating fairly clean, then I give you some tips to dial it in more to make shifts. If you are coming into it like the first example, then I've got it so it's not too overwhelming. It's still delicious, and it's not, you'll see changes, but it's not so overwhelming that you can't do it. And in each dinner recipe, I've got our kid-friendly ideas. So this is important too. You're starting a new healthy eating lifestyle, you're starting new dinner recipes, and your kids aren't used to that. I don't want you to have to make a separate meal for them for the rest of your family, because then you're going to fall off track because that is just too hard. So each meal, we make it kid friendly. I've got one really picky eater, so I've been there and I know how we have to sort of adjust things to make it kid friendly. So I just give little tips in each supper on, say it's a chicken dish with something, then I'll tell you, cook up the chicken, set some aside, the rest you put into the dish. For those picky eaters, they aren't going to want it with all those sauces and spices and whatever. So I find that's really helpful. So what else is included in the Mama Recharge Method 4-week program? Actually, first, I usually forget to mention this. Our next method program starts on January 21st, so Monday, January 21st. So I'm going to share more about that. I just wanted to pause and make sure I didn't miss out on that. So you're also going to get recipe ebooks. So like I said before, I want this to be, this isn't just a 4-week diet and you're done. I want this to be a lifestyle shift for you. So this is the shift that I saw 4 years ago. Before that, the whole decade before that, maybe even more, I did so many diet plans and I'd do it for a few weeks and then I'd go back to my old habits. Finally, about 6 years ago, I was able to make this shift, this lifestyle change, and I've continued with that. So I want that for you guys. So that's why I've added in recipe ebooks, breakfast recipes, all of my favorite breakfast recipes over the past 6 years, lunch, all my favorite lunches. So actually breakfast, that could be anything from something quick like a bar or a breakfast cookie to something like a Sunday breakfast casserole or pancakes. So I've got you covered with whatever type of breakfast you like. Lunches, I typically love soups and salads, soups or salads for lunches. So all of my favorites are in there. Snacks, I still love cookies. I still love muffins on occasion. We have so many. You can still eat cookies that are whole foods based, quality ingredients. And I've got a huge amount of them. So if you have a whole recipe book or recipe cards of your grandma's favorite cookies, your mom's favorite cookies, or just your kids' favorite cookies that they've been eating, you're not going to be disappointed with all of the different delicious snacks you can have in there. Suppers, we've got a whole book of my favorite suppers from the past 6 years. Quick and easy. That's delicious and quick and simple is the main things that I look for in my supper recipes. Okay, so what else is included? So it's not just a meal plan. We dive deeper than that. So this month is, I've made it so simple with a meal plan, with the strategic with it, with the recipes, because I want you to have some time to dive in. And this isn't going to take a ton of time. You're not going to have to take even if you're busy, you can fit this in. But we're going to dive into some different areas in this month because I want you to know what's really going on and I want you to really know how to address it. So it's things like in week 1 so these are all videos and workbooks. Week 1, we dive into what to eat and what not to eat. So you're getting started. You need to know what exactly you're going to be eating, what you're not going to be eating for these 4 weeks. And then after that, I'll talk about that maybe a little bit later or later on in the program of how you know if you can continue with those foods after, like bring those foods back in after or not. Week 2, we talk about the blood sugar factor. So like I mentioned in the webinar, that's huge for so many of us for energy, for just how we feel, and also for weight. Number 3, we dive into lifestyle hacks. So I really drilled down to, like I said before with exercise, I'm busy. I haven't been fitting in a lot of like structured exercise, but I'll give you tips on how to fit that in, different tips and tricks on sleep, how to feel more rested. I dive into it all with stress. We dive into that if that's an issue. In week 4, we dive into gut health. So this has been really, this is kind of like the popular thing now, which it should be popular because it's an important thing. We're diving into gut health. So how we can fix that gut health and how that can increase your energy, help you lose weight, help you feel better. That is huge. The health of your gut determines the health of your overall body. So those are weekly videos. Along with that, we have our weekly workbooks. So you'll get, it's a quick workbook to read, but plus you'll get some action tasks each week. So week 1, what to eat. Week 2, blood sugar workbook. Week 3, lifestyle workbook. Week 4, gut health workbook. Okay, so I probably could dive more into that. So we've got, along with that, we've got some different checklists. I've really broken it down to make it work and to make things turn into a habit. So we've got different printables, checklists, the workbooks, things like that. And we've got some, actually, I'm going to dive into that in a second. So let's move on to bonus number 1 with that. So first of all, we mentioned you've got your meal plan and how that's structured. Then you've got your weekly videos, your weekly workbooks, and I've added in a bonus is your kitchen staples guide. So with this, we've got what to stock your kitchen with, what to remove from your kitchen. So this I love for you to open up at least the weekend before, even right away, to open up this kitchen staples guide and start diving into that. I also have, this is something I love here, the food swaps guide. So it's like an eat this, not that. So if you have, if you love your nightly bowl of ice cream, or you love your Friday night chips, whatever that is for you, you love your piece of toast, I've got your swaps in here. And then here you'll see is your whole list of pantry staples. So I love that you can just get totally motivated right before the program starts. You can go through your pantry, go through your fridge, and get set for success with your healthy lifestyle shift. Bonus number 2 is our Better Digestion workbook. Digestion, whether you know you have poor digestion or you aren't sure if your digestion is poor, a lot of people struggle with digestion. That can be anything from bloating and gas, constipation, diarrhea, or maybe you don't even realize that you aren't digesting your food very well, and it's causing some tiredness, some low energy. So that is very common. So that's why I included an entire bonus workbook on digestion. So we talk about, in this, we talk about some at-home tests you can do to see how your digestion is, like a stomach acid test. And we also, I provide you with a list of a few supplements, very inexpensive supplements that can really help with that. Some different tips and tricks that aren't going to cost you anything that can really make a difference in your digestion. So that's a book that I love, and I find it's very helpful. So what else do you need? With all those things that I've mentioned already, you also need, you need support, you need accountability, you need your questions answered whenever they come up. So that's why I have added in bonus number 3, which is our Mummer Charge Method Facebook group. So it's a private Facebook group for Method members only. So you know that the people in this group are doing the Method program with you. Some of them have done this Method program last year. We've run it twice already. So you also have people that have gone through it too and have seen results and can also help guide and support you. So if you have questions, if you are having a tough day, you just want to talk about it, you have some wins, you're really excited about how you're doing, that's the place to share that. That's so important. You could buy a book on dieting or lifestyle shifts. You can buy a book and start something like that on your own. But when you don't have that group of support, it's so much harder. So I love having this community there. And you also have lifetime access to that method group when you purchase the program. So I'm going to dive into a little bit about what people are saying. So we've run this group twice before. So these are some things that people have told me after finishing the Mama Recharged method. So I'll share a couple of those with you right now. So Amy says, I was part of the Mama Recharged program when Terry ran it in January of this year. So that was actually last year. I joined as yet one more attempt to try to figure out what was wrong with my body. For the past 4 years, I've tried multiple diets, supplements, acupuncture, naturopaths, you name it. I likely tried it. After having my second baby, my body greatly changed, and one symptom was chronic stomach discomfort. Eliminating several food groups, as done in Mama Recharged, proved quickly that dairy and gluten were no longer friends with my stomach. I know that if I want to cheat and have some, I will for sure be paying for it in a matter of hours. So glad to have found the answers to that. Terry is also incredibly encouraging and went out of her way to get different questions and concerns answered for me. I highly recommend the program to anybody who's interested in learning more about what agrees with their body in an encouraging and informative online environment. And Joyce, she shared some information after she did the program last January as well. So after discovering my problems with eating gluten, I was curious how else food was affecting my health. So I joined the program. I learned that my body also has a sucky reaction to dairy and is happier without sugar. If you're feeling weirdly tired, bloated, itchy, coffee, that's a word, or just curious about food's effects on your day-to-day energy, I recommend you commit yourself to this plan. Terry Watt will walk with you. I was very surprised to learn that cheese and yogurt, I haven't liked milk in years, affect me negatively. I did not expect that. It's not difficult now to learn to eat a different way because of all the benefits. My energy is up, my bowels have returned to near normal, my cough is largely gone, and no bronchitis this winter. Thanks for leading us in this, Joyce. And I've got a fast action bonus for you guys. I've got another bonus. So if you purchase before the end of this webinar, actually, since we're running another webinar at 8:30 tonight, you have a little bit longer. So purchase before the end of tonight's webinar. So that would be so it starts at 8:30, about 9:30. So purchase before 9:30 tonight, and you will get these 3 bonus ebooks. So one ebook is a favorite. It's Valentine's Treats. So with that, you'll see that you can still celebrate with food. You can still enjoy treats, festive foods. You can still make treats, like festive treats for your kids, and still follow the Mama Recharged method and still feel good and still lose weight. So that's a fun one, the Valentine's Treats, with Valentine's Day coming up in a little while. Another one is Kid Favorites. So I wanted to add this bonus book in here. This is, I think it's probably at least like 30 recipes of kid favorites. So again, with starting a new way of eating, starting a new lifestyle, your kids maybe have foods that they've loved and they don't want to start eating all the foods that you are eating. So this is a book full of foods that you can eat and enjoy, because I love kid-friendly foods as well. These are some of my favorites. But your kids will also like them. So you can dive into those recipes. I like to make at least one of these recipes a week. Some of them I store in the fridge, and kids can enjoy them. Kids can get healthier, and you can also enjoy them and get healthier with them too. Another one is our winter comforts. So it's full of comforting stews and soups, and even just like oven roasted meals. There is some comforting like snacks. This one is a paleo porridge, I think. So it's a big ebook too. It's probably at least 30, 40 recipes in there. So those are some big bonuses I'm adding in if you purchase by 9:30 today. So if all this did was, I just wanted to take a second and have you kind of think about this for a little bit. If all this program did was allow you freedom from your cravings and an end to your evening binges, if all it did was provide you with energy throughout the day, if all it did was stop the endless cycle of going on and off diets, and if all it did was never have to diet again, would it be worth it? So I wish I had this program 10, 15 years ago because I struggled for so long. Every new year was the same New Year's resolution. I would try and I would fail and I would try and I would fail. So that's why I created this program. I want you to be able to make those shifts and have it stick. And I want all of that for you, everything I just mentioned. So I'm just going to switch gears and I'm going to bring it back to another mom that joined us in our last, I believe it was in our last run of the Mama Recharge Method. And she saw so many changes. I've chatted with her a few months ago. After the method, she's chatted with me a few times and she's loving it. And she even, actually, I'll dive into it. She's even kind of got her husband on board. He's noticed some huge changes as well. So thanks so much for all your advice and tips. I don't know anyone who's gluten-free, so I feel like I couldn't do it without your help and knowledge. I've introduced so many new healthy meals and snacks into our household. It's been really great. So here's my progress picture after only 2 weeks. It's quite astounding. Definitely less red. Oh, I got goosebumps just reading this. It's definitely less red and angry looking. I'm going to keep at it. The nausea is finally gone. And like you said it would, I really have no cravings anymore. I'm finding it quite easy. I'm sure I'll make this a lifestyle change. And then this was another email that she had sent to me. She put, still going strong, 7 weeks gluten-free. My bumps on my face are practically gone, but the redness still remains. I wanted to let you know, though, that my husband has had skin on his face flare up for about 4 years now, and we couldn't pinpoint why. Then after me feeling great without gluten, he decided to give it a try. After 1 week, he had no face flare-ups. Last night, after eating a bowl of multigrain Cheerios, which he didn't realize had wheat in them, he had a face flare-up. Tingly, red. Finally, wheat wasn't even on the radar with him. Crazy. I find it easy now to keep gluten out. I think I can make it a life change for sure. I like how not eating it makes me feel. I'm going to keep going with this. My guts just feel good. I always tell people that I used to have pains, cramping, bloating, and now I can't feel any of that. And not only that, but my guts just feel good. It's so hard to explain, but I'm loving the results so far. So when I read this, I almost want to cry because there's so many moms dealing with different things. So one of her things was nausea. She had so many different symptoms, like so many of us. Maybe you're not dealing with nausea, but maybe you have other things going on. And often the root cause is very, very similar. So let's move on to you're wondering, what's the investment of this program? So the regular price is $197, but now it's on sale for $147. And I also have another option that I'm offering new this year that I'm excited about. So I will dive into the second option in just a second. So you also have a money back guarantee. So I know I myself in the past, if I wanted to try a new program, the unknown of it was kind of like a roadblock. So that's why I wanted to give you the money back guarantee. If you decide this program is not right for you, once you're in, you can get a full refund within the first 7 days and keep the Kitchen Staples Guide. And the first 7-day plan is my gift to you. So I want you to feel like you can come in, have a look around, see if it's actually something that you can fit into your lifestyle, something that will work for you. If not, there's no problem to do the money back, to take up, I can't talk right now, to get the money back guarantee. So like I said, our next group session begins January 21st. So are you going to be joining us? I'm going to share, I'm just going to read through this and then I'm going to share with you our new option and I'll switch the screen over. And then after that, I've got our giveaway I'm going to announce, and then I've got the free gift. So what you're going to get. So we'll kind of recap what you're going to get with the Mama Recharge Method. The Mama Recharge 4-week plan, the weekly bonus, the weekly video plus bonuses, the breakfast, lunch, supper, and snacks ebooks. You're going to get the bonus Kitchen Staples Guide, the bonus Better Digestion Guide, You're going to get the bonus private group for accountability and support, and the fast action bonuses. So this was actually during our summer Mama Charge Method. So our fast action bonuses for the winter are those 3 ebooks. One of the ebooks is, so the 3 ebooks of Valentine's Treats, the Kid Favorites, and the Winter Comforts. Those 3 ebooks. So, so that all is a value of over $500. You can get started now for just $147. And like I said, now I have another option, which is even better value. So I'm going to, before I head to that, I'm just going to switch over to explain our other option a little bit better. So let's see here. So this is our Mama Charge Method. This is linked up on the page that you're watching right now. So if you want to get more information and to purchase, click on that link. It'll bring you to this page. So you'll see here, you now have 2 options. So one is what I mentioned is what the option that we've always had is the Mama Charge Method program. $147, it's on sale right now until I believe Thursday. The countdown timer is on here. So it's on sale until I believe it's Thursday. And you get lifetime access to that. So the moms, some of the moms that I just read about, any of the other moms that have been in our programs, any of the moms that have purchased the Mama Charge Method program before have lifetime access, so they can join us again. So I love that it's every January. You want to sort of like get that restart. You want that help guiding you through it so you can get back on track. That you can do every January. You can do the Mama Charge Method with us again. And then we also run it just before summer as sort of our like back on track for summer, like I'm not sure what you want to call it, beach body, whatever. So getting in shape for summer. So we run it twice a year. And so with that $147, you get lifetime access. Any updates that we do, any additions we do to it, any bonuses we add to it, you get those as well. So, and then this is our second option. So we have a Mama Charge membership that people are loving. We've been running it for the past year. We've got an entire year of content in there, plus extra. So this is your other option. If you want to do the Mama Charge Method with us, plus you want to get 12 months access to the membership. And in our membership, we have a new weekly meal plan every week. We've got the meal plan database of over 50 meal plans that you can choose from. So you can choose to do that weekly meal plan, the new weekly meal plan with us, or you can look through the entire database and find meal plans that you love, that you want to do. We have got monthly challenges. We have monthly giveaways, just like the one that we're doing today. You've got support from me. I'm available to you via email, via message, any questions you have, I'm here to answer them. And then we also have monthly coaching calls. In the meal plans, we've got your shopping list, your prep guides, and all that. So I love this option because you start off with a Mama Charge Method, you get full access to that. And then after that, going forward, you have an entire year of support to keep you going. Because like I said before, this is meant to be a lifestyle change. I want it to be a shift that's just sort of like habitual for you, that it's not a struggle, it's just how you live now. So I love this option. Now only $197. So that's a value of, it's value of actually well over $447. I calculated that because our monthly price in the membership is $24.99 times 12, $300. And then our method sale price is $147. Just the method is a value of over $500. So this is a huge value. Most nutritionists are charging more than that in just a couple consultations with you. Most nutritionists charge a lot more than that in their online programs, even just like an 8-week program. So you are getting a more intense support with the Mama Charge Method, and then you're getting all of those tools in the 12-month membership. So I love this option. Right now it's at such a low price to get that program. And also I didn't mention too, our 7-day cleanse we run twice a year, that is now included in our membership. So you'll be able to do our 7-day cleanse every spring and fall with us too. So I love that option. I'm just going to see if there's any questions. Just going to refresh this. So like I said, click on this page. You'll get a little bit more information if you're thinking about the method program. Okay. Just going to click back to this. Make sure we're still working. See if there's any questions. Yep, still working. Any questions? Watching from my phone, I can't. I switched to my laptop. Okay, that was 40 minutes ago, so it looks like Amy's got that figured out. So we were on a couple last things, and then I'm going to switch it over to my face so I can show you the giveaways. Okay, so so those were your two options I had just mentioned. Your free gift. So I added on another free gift. So it used to be the one-day meal plan, which is a meal plan that I love. So I wanted to give you that so you had an example of the type of way you're eating, type of recipes you're eating. So you can grab that, but you can also grab the full, I wonder if I can type this in. You can also grab a full 1 week plan as well. So you can see what our membership plans are like. So I'm going to see if I can type this in. And then you should be able to click the link. Either you can't copy and paste this, but you can just type this into your browser. It'll pop up both of those right away. Or if you can click on the, I'm just going to type it in now, the chat box, then it should bring it up. Mama recharged. So there is a delay. .com/webinar gift. Oops, I spelled that wrong. Gift. members.mummercharge.com/webinar gift. So I'm going to see if that is going to work for me. And then I'm going to do the giveaway right after. Okay, just bear with me for a second. In the meantime, if you want to have a look at the sales page, the more information on the method program, feel free to ask me any questions too about it. What's my password? Okay. Oh shoot, I'm going to type that in again. Okay, sorry. Members.mama. It's probably easier for you guys just to type it in. Charged quicker. /webinar gift. So that's the 1 day plan. Let's see if that's going to work. Okay. For some reason, it's not working for me right now. I don't know if it's because I'm on live or what, but so if you can just type those in, and then the other one is members.mummercharge.com/free meal plan. Thank you. So that's all together, no spaces. Free meal plan. Thank you. What do you call that? -2. And then you'll get, if you have any troubles, send me a message and I can send that link to you via email or through Facebook message or whatever. Okay, so enjoy those. And I'm going to do the free giveaway now. I'm going to see if I can switch this over to my face. I think I just clicked. Did I click the wrong one? Okay, I'm not sure if it's going to let me. Oh, there we go. Okay. Hi, guys. So we're going to do a giveaway. So we do giveaways like this every month in the membership. So it's different supplements usually to choose from. So the winner will get to choose from either a full-size bottle of Samara Organic Complete Kids and Teens. It is a vitamin, mineral, and probiotic formula, whole foods based. So this is one of my favorite supplements. And then this one is a high quality probiotic. So it is Garden of Life doctor formulated probiotics, once daily women's 50 billion. So this is one of my favorite probiotics. So this is like a $35 value. I think this is like a $45 value. So just going to do, so I've got all the names in my computer. The draw was from the last 2 weeks in our challenges. If you posted or commented on there, then your name went into the draw. So any of the comments from Mama Charge or Mama Charge community went into the draw. So I'm going to draw the name, and it is Jamie Rempel. Okay, so Jamie, I'll send you a message. Thanks for being in our challenges and commenting. So you get to choose one of these, whichever you prefer as your prize. Okay, thanks guys for being on the webinar. It's been nice sharing my story and chatting with you guys. I hope to chat further with you guys. Any questions you have about it, if it's right for you, any advice you need, I'm here. So just let me know, and talk to you guys later. Okay, bye guys.